Welcome back. From the last few classes, we are studying about cosets, examples of cosets, and few theorems of it. So, we have already seen the definition of coset. So, simply in short, we will quickly recall the definition of coset. So, given a vector space V and a subspace of V, say W, so W is a subspace of V, then coset of W in V is denoted by what? Small v plus W, which is equal to small v plus small w. Remember, it is a subspace. This notation and this notation is same, such that W belongs to what? W. Okay, if you want, I will write it properly. Yes. So this is nothing but coset of W in V, where the small v is from what? V, and this V is called as representative of the coset, right? So as soon as the representative changes, our coset may also change. Okay, so given an element of V, so corresponding to each element of V, we can find what? Coset of W in V. Okay, and that whatever we are V, that whatever V we are taking, that V will be called as what? Representative of the coset. So we have seen few examples on this. What was one of the example? One of the example was regarding if you have vector space V to be R2 and W, that is subspace, to be x-axis, then what are your cosets? So your cosets are nothing but what? Lines parallel to what? X-axis. So in this theory question, what they have done is they have taken all the cosets of W in V and they have formed one set of that. In the sense, त्यांनी हे सगळे जे कोसेट्स आहेत W in V त्यांना एका सेट मध्ये टाकले. So they have formed one set using that. So you know how do cosets of W in V look like? They are of the form what? V plus W, and where the small v is from what? V, right? And they are calling this set as V mod W. Note what I am saying, V mod W. Okay, just keep this in mind. And on this set, what they have done is they have defined addition given in this way, and they have defined scalar multiplication given in this way, and we have to prove that this addition and the scalar multiplication defined in this way are well defined in V mod W. Okay, so definitely after looking towards this addition and scalar multiplication, you might remember definition of vector space. So similar thing is that. So over there, what were our addition? Our addition was defined in this way, right? I think xy goes to what? X plus y, and scalar multiplication dot was defined as r cross v goes to what? V, and this image was given as alpha dot x in this way, right? This addition, this scalar multiplication, and this addition and scalar multiplication given over here. There is one difference. See, this addition and scalar multiplication were defined where? On the vector space V, but over here it is defined on which set? It is defined on this set, that is a V mod W. Okay, so whatever addition and scalar multiplication are defined on V mod W, we have to show that they are well defined. Okay, so what is this set containing actually V mod W? It is containing all cosets of W in V. So if you consider this particular example, so our V mod W is going to contain what? All cosets of W in V, in the sense what? All the lines parallel to what? X axis, including what? x-axis. Just note this, okay, because x-axis is nothing but what? W, and I have already told you that W is also a coset with representative as 0. So over here addition is defined from V mod W cross V mod W to what? V mod W, and scalar multiplication is defined from R cross V mod W to what? V mod W. So, and how they have defined it? See here, they have taken an element as V1 plus W comma V2 plus W. Okay, you just simply compare this one and this one. Okay, so they have defined it as this maps to what? V1 plus V2 plus what? W. Okay, and over here alpha, this V plus W, they have mapped to what? Alpha dot V plus what? W. Okay, so you can see this term and this term, this term and this term, right? So don't get confused. याच्या आधीची term अशी काय आहे? Why this term is like this over here? Okay, if you want I will increase one more step. So over here actually this is mapped to what? V1 plus W plus V2 plus W. Okay, and they are saying that this is exactly equal to what? V1 plus V2 plus W. Okay, and over here it is alpha inside the bracket V plus W, and further which is same as alpha V plus W. Okay, so for us now, see, this addition and this addition is same, this one and this one is same. Okay, so actually they have told us how to add elements of this V mod W. The meaning is, so as we have seen in last example, if our V is R2 and suppose my W is what? X-axis, then what are my cosets? My cosets are nothing but what? Lines parallel to this x-axis, right? So the point is, suppose this is my V1 plus W and suppose this is my V2 plus W. So after adding these two cosets, again I am going to get a coset, right? So suppose that coset is this. Now see, every coset has a representative, as this W is having the representative V1 and this W is having representative V2. So similarly, whatever coset we are getting after adding these two cosets, it is also going to have a representative. So that representative is nothing but what? V1 plus V2. Are you getting my point? So basically this is nothing but what? The addition of V1 plus W and V2 plus W, and whatever coset we are getting, that coset has the representative V1 plus V2. So in other words, if you want to add two coset, so whatever answer you are getting, what will be your answer? Your answer is nothing but what? A coset again, but what will be the representative? Simply you add what? V1 and V2. For example, for this particular example, suppose I am taking 1 2 plus W plus I say this is one coset, and over here say 3 7 plus W. So what will be the addition of these two cosets? It is simple, you simply add these two representatives. So what answer you will get? 4, 3 plus 1 is 4 and 2 plus 7 is 9. Okay, so this will be your addition in this case. Okay, so I hope you are getting how the addition is defined. So similarly they have defined scalar multiplication. So suppose this is your coset, some V plus W I say, and suppose you are having some real number say R. So you simply multiply this alpha to this v plus w. So whatever answer you get, again it is going to be a coset. Now the question is, what will be that coset and what will be its representative? So suppose this is that coset, okay, so naturally it is going to have representative, and they are saying that that representative is nothing but what? Simply take alpha multiplied by v. For example, 3, 9 plus w, we are talking about this example, okay, over here, and if I multiply it by some scalar, say what should I go for? Yeah, 5. So the answer will be simply multiply this 5, okay, this 5 to what? This point of R2. So what you will get here is 15 comma 45, I guess, plus what? W. So in this way the scalar multiplication is defined, right? Now we have to show that this addition and scalar multiplication are well defined. Now let us recall the definition of well defined function. So a function f from x to y is said to be well defined if x1 is equal to x2 for x1 comma x2 belonging to x implies what? F of x1 is equal to what? F of x2, right? So this is the definition of what? Well defined function. You can say it is a converse of what? 1 function, right? So in 1 function we take f of x1 is equal to f of x2 and we try to prove that x1 is equal to x2. If that happens, then we say f is 1 1. But if you take converse of that, that is nothing but what? A well defined function, okay. Now over here we have to show this addition and scalar multiplication are well defined. So first of all we will only focus on addition, then we will focus on what? Scalar multiplication, okay. So the addition is defined in this way, okay. Now see, what is the definition of well defined function saying? So we have to take x1 is equal to x2, means we have to take two elements of x, they are equal, means indirectly we are taking same element only. So they are saying that if x1 is equal to x2 in x, then their images should be also same. Is that okay? They should not be what? Different, means so same thing we will apply here. One, see, focus, over here the domain of f is only x, but over here what is the domain of addition? It is a Cartesian product, right, of v mod w cross v mod w, isn't it? So how do elements of Cartesian product look like? So this is equal to set of all a comma b such that a belongs to a and what? B belongs to what? B, right? So what about the Cartesian product of v mod w cross v mod w then? So it will be of the form, so one element from v mod w, so I will call it as some v1 plus w, and the other element from what again? Again from v mod w, we will call it as v2 plus w, such that v1 v2 belongs to what? Right? So just keep this in mind, okay. So this is nothing but our domain of our addition function. Now in order to show addition is well defined, इथे काय केलेलं आपण? So here we have taken x1 is equal to x2. So over here this is how element of domain of this plus look like. So in order to take two elements, so how will two elements of this Cartesian product look like? Now see, over here variables are nothing but what? v1 and v2. So one element I will take it like this only, same notation I will use, and the other element I will take it to be what? एका एलिमेंटला मी असंच घेणार v1 प्लस w कॉमा v2 प्लस w, आणि दुसरा एलिमेंट जो आहे तो मी कसा घेतो? लाईक दिस v3 प्लस w कॉमा वॉट? v4 प्लस w, okay, and I will say that they are equal. So just try to relate okay, to this definition of well defined function. So now I have taken these elements to be equal. Now what I have to show is their images are equal, right? See the definition properly. If elements are equal, then images, that is f of x1 should be equal to f of x2. So what is the image of this? See, how is the addition defined over here? In this way, right? So this is the image actually. So by taking this, by assuming this, actually what we have to prove? We have to prove that the images are equal, and the images are nothing but what? v1 plus v2. Just a minute. So v1 plus v2 plus w is equal to what? v3 plus v4 plus w. So we will assume this and we will prove this, okay? Then this will imply that addition is well defined, okay? Now let us recall the result that we have seen last time. So if V is a vector space and W is a subspace, then we have already proved that V1 plus W is equal to V2 plus W if and only if V1 minus V2 belongs to what? W, right? So if two cosets are equal, then the subtraction of the representative should belong to W, or other way around, if the subtraction of the representatives, or you can say if the subtraction of two elements of V belongs to W, then by using this V1 form one coset, by using this V2 form other coset, then these two cosets will be equal, okay? आता इथे हे प्रूव्ह करण्यासाठी we are going to use this logic. So in order to prove this, what I have to show? आता इथे मला दोन कोसेट्स इक्वल दाखवायचे. So in order to show these two cosets are equal, since this result is if and only if, what I will try to show? That the subtraction of the representatives belongs to what? W. So in other words, that is what I am going to show, V1 plus V2 minus this V3 plus V4 belongs to what? W. Okay, I hope you are getting what I am trying to tell you, okay? So this is the given thing that I have written. First of all, let W be a subspace of a real vector space V, and this is our set V mod W. So we have to show that addition and scalar multiplication defined in this way are well defined, okay? So first of all, I have started with what? I have said let V1 plus W comma V2 plus W is equal to what? V3 plus W comma V4 plus W. जसं मी इथे लिहिलं तसं, for this elements belong to what? V mod W, and what we have to show? We have to show this, right? So that is what I have written. This is my claim. But in order to prove it, what I am going to show? I am going to show that the subtraction of this representatives belongs to what? W. Now since this is if and only if, by using this I can easily say that this claim is true, right? So now say now see here, since this V1 plus W comma V2 plus W is equal to V3 plus W comma V4 plus W, now just try to recall the elements of R2, or I will say the elements of Cartesian product. So suppose you are having, say, A comma B is equal to X comma Y, right? So what can you conclude by this statement? Okay, so we can conclude that this A should be equal to X and what? B should be equal to what? Y. So same thing I can say, since these two are equal elements, so this is the first coordinate on the left hand side of the left hand side actually, and this is the first coordinate of the right hand side. So what should happen? They should be equal. So I can say that this V1 plus W should be equal to what? V3 plus W, and this V2 plus W should be equal to what? V4 plus W. So that is what I have said over here. Okay. Now again I am going to use this result. Now since this V1 plus W is equal to V3 plus W, what can I say immediately? The subtraction of the representatives, that is V1 minus, I will write it here, V1 minus V3 should belong to what? W, and this V2 minus V4 should belong to what? W. Okay. So V1 minus V3 comes from here and V2 minus V4 comes from here. Okay. Now with the help of this I have to show this. Okay. So now since this both elements are from W and W is a subspace, so and you already know subspace is closed under addition. So if we have two elements of subspace, where will be the addition of elements lie? They will be again in the subspace. So what can I say? This V1 minus V3 plus V2 minus V4 will belong to what? W, since W is a subspace. But by using simple technique and the fact that vector space is abelian, so I can shift the terms here and there. So I can write it as V1 plus V2. This V1 I have written as it is. This V2 appears here, minus sign inside the bracket. Now this V3, now since this minus is out, so I can write it as plus V4, right? And see this, that is what we wanted to show actually. Okay, right? So this belongs to what? W. Now since this belongs to W, now by using this result, what can I say? See, instead of V1 now you are having V1 plus V2, and instead of V2 you are having V3 plus V4. So by using this result you can say that V1 plus V2 plus W will be equal to what? V3 plus V4 plus W, and that is our claim. Okay, so we will see the proof actually. Yeah, so that is what I have said here. This is due to the part 1 of last theorem what we have seen, and now since these two elements are in W, the addition lies in W. The reason is not mentioned, so you can state if you want, since W is a subspace, right? So therefore this is possible. Simple arrangement, simply doing some rearrangement of terms. So V1 plus V2 minus V3 plus V4 belongs to W, and that is what we wanted to prove. Again we have used what? Part 1 of our last theorem. Therefore addition is well defined in V mod W. Now we show that scalar multiplication is also well defined. Okay, so in order to show scalar multiplication is also well defined, so see what is scalar multiplication. Scalar multiplication is a function from R cross V to what? V. This is in the case of vector spaces that we have already seen. Now over here for this particular problem, our scalar multiplication is defined on the set V mod W. So it is a function from R cross V mod W to what? V mod W. And how it is defined? It is defined as this alpha of, since it is a Cartesian product, one element from R I have taken it to be alpha, other element from V mod W, and we will call it as V plus W, and they are mapping it to what? Alpha multiplied by V plus W, and that is nothing but alpha V plus what? W, right? In order to show this map is well defined by using similar logic, so we have to take two elements that are equal from the domain. Now this is our domain, and this is how elements of domain will look like. If you want, I will write that here. So elements of R cross V mod W will look like alpha comma V plus W, such that this alpha belongs to R and what, this V belongs to what, vector space V. Okay, now over here you can see there are two variables, that is alpha and V, and over here the variables were V1 and V2. Note that this alpha is a real number. Okay, so yes, now in order to prove that scalar multiplication is well defined, again I will take two elements in this way of domain of this function, which is R cross V mod W, which are equal. Now since alpha and V are the variables over here, so how they will look like? So I'll say let alpha 1, since alpha is also a variable, comma V5 plus W, since in the first part we have used the notation up to V4 plus W is equal to alpha 2 comma V6 plus W. I will start with this and I will try to prove that the images are equal, but what will be the image of this? Image of it will be alpha 1 multiplied by V5 plus W. Now I will simply call it as alpha 1 V5 only, so which is equal to alpha 2 V6 plus what, W, right? Now the logic is same. So in order to prove this, again I am going to use which result? This result, right? So in order to prove these two cosets are equal, what I should show is, I should show that their subtraction of the representatives belongs to W, that is nothing but what, alpha 1 V5 minus alpha 2 V6 belongs to what, W. Just keep this in mind. Okay, so therefore I will start the proof with this statement. Okay, yes, so therefore over here I have said that this alpha 1 V5 plus W be equal to alpha 2 V6 plus W, for alpha 1 alpha 2 belonging to R and this belonging to what, our V mod W, and our claim is this alpha 1 V5 plus W is equal to alpha 2 V6 plus W. But note, in order to prove it, we are going to show that the subtraction of the representative belongs to what, the W. Okay, means alpha 1 V5 minus alpha 2 V6 belongs to what, W, right? Now how to prove it? Now see, since we are having this to be equal, again by using same logic, whenever you are having two elements equal of the Cartesian product, then we can say that this A is equal to X and B is equal to Y. So by using same logic, what can I say here? Alpha 1 should be equal to alpha 2 and this V5 plus W should be equal to what, V6 plus W. Now again by using this result, now since two cosets are equal, the subtraction of the representatives should belong to W. So it is same as, therefore alpha 1 will be equal to alpha 2 and this V5 minus V6 should belong to what, W. Now since W is a subspace, so it is closed under scalar multiplication as well. What do you mean by closed under scalar multiplication? So if you are having an element of W and if you are having a real number, for any real number I am talking about, and for any element of W, their scalar multiplication will always lie where, in W only. So therefore I can say this alpha 1 multiplied by V5 minus V6 should belong to W. The reason is W is a subspace and we are using that second property of scalar multiplication over here of a subspace. So therefore by using simple calculations, this is alpha 1 V5 minus alpha 1 V6 belongs to what, W. but we wanted to show this alpha 1 v5 minus alpha 2 v6 belongs to W. So am I through? Can I say that this alpha 1 is nothing but alpha 2? Yes, I can say, because alpha 1 is nothing but what actually? It is alpha 2 only. So this will be same as what? This. Okay, and by using this result we can immediately say that by taking this as representative and this as representative and forming these cosets, these two will be what? Equal. Okay, and that is what we wanted to prove here, isn't it? So that is what I have written here. So therefore this alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2, and this is happening since this is true, and therefore in the next step this v5 minus v6 belongs to W, again by part 1 of the last theorem, and therefore this will belong to W. Since W is a subspace, we are using the property of what? Subspace is always closed under scalar multiplication, and therefore by using simple calculations we will get this, and therefore this is going to happen by using part 1 of the last theorem, and therefore scalar multiplication is well defined. Now note, in the examination don't write by part 1 of last theorem. Okay, so if you want, I will make a change here. Don't say like this. Okay, you have to state the theorem. Okay, so that's all about theory question number 2. So we will stop here. So thank you.